thanks very much. I'm going to have a completely different vision of household appliances from now on anyway. But first of all, I want to welcome each and every one of you here today, welcome you to the Lakeland region, to County Roscommon. And now you can take that back to your colleagues in the Department of Housing, that it is County Roscommon and will remain County Roscommon. But also, I want to welcome you to my own parish here in Naughten. You're all very welcome here today. I suppose we have come a long way over the last 12 months since we developed this particular initiative and published the Taskforce Action Plan. But this is, and we committed to it at the time, the first national stakeholder forum. And I want to thank each and every one of you from the industry, from the private sector, from the public sector for being here today. And to acknowledge the hard work that has been done to date. And a significant body of work has been carried out to date in establishing the task force, producing that report, and some of the members that were involved in that are here today, and progressing the implementation to the stage that we have at this stage. But we have a lot of work still to do. I also want to welcome Minister Sean Kine. Sean is the third, I think, minister on the other wing that has been working with us on this. Both Minister Ring and Minister Humphreys have been involved up to now. And I think Sean, no more than myself and no more than Minister Ring and Minister Humphreys, are acutely aware of the issues there, and I know Sean is committed to delivering on the framework that is set out in the mobile phone and broadband task force. I think the task force is an important development in the delivery of vital telecommunications infrastructure across this country. One of the most positive things that has emerged from this process is the extent to which bilateral engagement between the key stakeholders has fostered a strong spirit of cooperation. And that is very positive to see that. But I think we need to go a step further in relation to that. And as I said, look, I'm from this particular parish. My home is in the townland of Arkeenan, 5 miles away from where we are today. And if I want to get coverage, 3G coverage or 4G coverage, I have to go up to the upstairs of my mother's house and hang out the window to try and get coverage. And that's not good enough in rural Ireland today. I think Joe Healy put it very well during the presidential campaign for the IFA. Joe Healy was travelling around the country and he came into a particular farmyard looking to talk with a farmer. And one of the lads said, he's down in the shed. And Joe Healy went down the yard to the end of the yard and into the shed. And in the corner of the shed was a body with a coat thrown over it. And Joe disturbed the body, and this farmer stuck his head up out from under the coat. He had a laptop in his hand. He was kneeling down in the corner of the shed because that's the only place that he could actually get coverage to do his business. Now, I consider a farmer the same as every other small business in this country, a business. No business should have to try and access broadband in that manner. No individual should have to access broadband in that manner. And I think, while we're determined to deliver on the procurement processes in relation to the National Broadband Plan, and that will not only deliver for the current generation, but the generations to come, what we need to do is what are the practical steps that we can take here and now to streamline the rollout of the National Broadband Plan when it takes place, but in the interim to assist industry in rolling out infrastructure and broadband solutions right across Ireland, both urban and rural, and particularly to that farmer and every other farmer across rural Ireland. And as I say, I want to welcome the efforts that have been made to deliver on the task force actions to date. And we have done a lot, but we have an awful lot more to do. We're now coming close to the end, or we're at the end of quarter 3. We have everyone talking about the actions that they're working on, but we now need to get those actions done. There's no point saying that we're working on them, we have to get them completed. And for me, certain key actions need to be delivered without any further delays. Last week, frustratingly, I had a telecoms company in with me, and they spoke about 2 local authorities where they were, within the last couple of months, given development contribution bills. Now, as you know, a directive has been issued on more than one occasion from the Department of Housing and Local Government in relation to exempting telecommunications infrastructure, and I would like to see that fulfilled without any further delay. We're working with the Department of Housing and Local Government in ensuring exempted development regulations keep pace with the technological developments. 3G antennae have been exempted in the past. We now need to do that in relation to 4G and 5G. And we have to resolve the persistent issues and challenges in relation to gaining access to state-owned infrastructure in terms of both physical access and also in relation to the consistency of the application of charges across that access. And let me make it crystal clear here. You know, this infrastructure is not owned by Roscommon County Council. This infrastructure is not owned by the Department of Communications, Climate Action and the Environment. This infrastructure, the length and breadth of the country, is owned by the Irish people. And we need to exploit that infrastructure to provide them with a service. You know, if we had a situation where any home in Ireland today was getting a water supply where it was literally a drip, drip, drip trying to fill the kettle, people would move mountains to make sure that that home would get access to a water supply. As far as I am concerned, broadband is equally as important as that water supply. And we cannot tolerate a situation where people are continuing to get it a drip, drip, drip feed. And we need to use the public infrastructure and assets that are there to actually ensure that this is delivered as quickly as possible. But it's not just about the mechanisms of the state helping to deliver this. Communities also need to engage with industry as well. And you know, we have had the issues in relation to persistent objections in the past in relation to infrastructure, and we as public representatives need to work with those communities, identify the locations to address particular black spots in relation to either mobile phone coverage or in relation to broadband coverage, agree sites with communities. But if we can do that, if we can get the industry to come on board, then we cannot be penalising them with charges on top of that or putting impediments in their way. Today is about trying to move quicker in relation to resolving these issues, and it's also about coming up with some novel solutions to these. We don't have all of the answers, and what I would hope out of today's forum is that we can come up with solutions. If there are barriers there, let's try and get round them another way, and let's try and move forward in a constructive manner to actually ensure that that farmer in that shed can go and sit at his kitchen table and do his job. And look, a lot of work has been done. The industry now is spending €1.4 million a day, and it's doing that because of the efforts of each and every one of you in this room. 171 homes and premises every day are connecting to a broadband service. So it is happening, but it needs to happen quicker. So let's start working together in relation to that, facilitate increased 4G coverage across the country, pave the way for 5G coverage. We're already the first country in the world, thanks to Comrade Jerry Fahy and his team, to auction off 5G capable spectrum. Let's be the first country in the world to get coverage the length and breadth of this country for 5G, and we can only do that by working together in relation to it. Thank you all for coming here today. I'm looking forward to your contributions, and I'm looking forward from moving from today into a further, more aggressive implementation of our strategy of delivering broadband to every single premises and mobile coverage to every single premises in Ireland.